Well, howdy folks, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of the Maddfuzzy Podcast. As always, I am your sock-obsessed host, Marta, and I'm coming to you from Knox, Maine, where I live with my handsome man and our two wonderful dogs. This is a knitting podcast. Oh yeah, all about knitting, spinning, my hand-dyed yarn company, Maddfuzzy, and a little bit of rural shenanigans just kind of sprinkled in there. So, welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. This podcast has been picking up some viewership. Pretty excited. Thanks for coming over if you are new. I've been kind of treading that 490 to 500 line as far as subscribers go. And recently, thanks, of course, the amazing and wonderful Chevy Rel, I'm sure, I have since gone above the 500 mark. And, I can officially announce that the Maddfuzzy Podcast is about 520 strong. So, thank you so much for coming over. Thank you so much for checking this out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button down there. And, if you feel the need, give me a thumbs up as well. That'd be awesome. There's been some updates to the Maddfuzzy Podcast 2019. I have gotten a new light. So we are now a better lit podcast. I'm excited about that. Thanks to my handsome man and Betsy. That was my Christmas gift this year. I like it a lot. It's a ring light. So it's just one light behind the camera, a big circle of light staring at me. It's a little intimidating, so I'm going to do my best to stay natural and calm while this giant light is beating down upon me. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. You guys are frickin' the best. I can't believe it. I guess I'm going to jump right into the good news and then we can talk about all the usual stuff because I'm guessing a lot of you tuned in to hear. Are you ready? We saved the sheep. Eee! You did it! Well, you did it. I simply gave you the means. You saved 13 BFL Merino cross sheep from slaughter. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Scott and Malika of the Garcelon House, they thank you as well. We raised $380. And I was able to just write them a check and give it to them. And they were beyond grateful. All the orders have been shipped out. And thanks so much. Like I said, you guys are the frickin' best. Yeah, I couldn't believe the outcome. I couldn't believe the number of people who wanted to support this flock. And I hope you all are very happy with your orders. It was a little overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot. So if for any reason something is not what you ordered, please just email me. I'd be happy to fix it. I'm not guaranteeing that I was at 100%. So if you are just tuning in and you're like, what is she talking about? What sheep? I don't think she has sheep. I don't have sheep. Go check out episode 24. Go back one. I have a great video about the sheep we were working to save and a little bit about the farm, a video of the sheep. So if you are new, this is your first time, go back one and check that out. And if you are tardy to the party and you do want to help out, I have relisted a few things. I have relisted some of the braids. When we were packing up, I realized there was a lot more of that. So I put up more of that. I put up more of the Angora locks. And there's still some bats up there if you wanna help out. All the money, of course, is always gonna go to the farm. So any sale I make of the fiber, I'm just gonna, when I pack it up for the next bunch, I'm gonna write her a check and she'll get a little bit more. I mean, every dollar helps. I mean, $380 is a lot of money, but it's gonna go into hay really quickly. My friend Audrey was saying they eat one of those big round hay bales. Smushed it all together there. Did you see that? They'll eat one of those a week. So I gotta give them a little bit more money. So if you do purchase, you're interested in it, definitely go on over. Still stuff in the shop. Help them out. And if you already have ordered and you've gotten your fiber and you're loving it, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from Scott and Malika. Thank you. You guys are the best. All right. So on that great note, let's get into the normal podcast. You can find me on the internet as Maddfuzzy. I am Maddfuzzy on Ravelry. I am Maddfuzzy on Instagram. I have a Gmail account, which is maddfuzzy@gmail.com. So feel free to email the podcast if you're interested. I love the comments. I love it when you say hi. If you're new and haven't joined the Ravelry group yet, please do. Introduce yourselves in that introductions thread. And then also speaking about Ravelry groups, we have a cowl kicking off. It kicked off just a few days ago. I have yet to get the threads up in the group. I will today. While this is uploading, I will get all the threads all sorted out because we are starting into Skeindeer All Year. Skeindeer All Year. Skeindeer All Year. Which is my brand of crazy, where we are going to knit all the Skeindeer patterns we possibly can. For the year of 2019, I am going to be drawing quarterly prizes. I am going to be drawing a grand prize, which you can enter as many finished objects as you possibly get done, and then a grand prize for anyone who knits 12 or more Skeindeer objects over the year. So I hope you're excited. We'll talk more about it as the quarters go by, as people start putting things into the threads. So I'm really excited. I hope you're really excited. I hope you've been stalking Skeindeer's patterns and figuring out what you want to knit. I can't wait. There's so many things of hers that I want to knit. So I'm going to get started on the whips I have. I've got 2 mittens on the needles that need to come off the needles. So I hope you're excited. I'm excited. Let's do this. So Skeindeer All Year. Threads will be up. Rules will be in each of them. Yeah, cool, sweet. As far as knitting content for this episode goes, I do not have a whole heck of a lot. I've just kind of been working on some easy things. I do this every year. After Christmas knitting, I'm just like, I'm just going to do something else with my time for like a day or so. So I haven't really put a lot on any project in particular, but I have done a little bit on 2 projects I'll show you. So to fill in the rest of the time, I thought, box of socks review. Yeah, box of socks. Please, if you're not sitting down, please sit down because this is going to be a huge piece of news. Yours truly knit 12 socks this year, took a picture of the box with the socks in it, and put it on Ravelry in the Woolen Vine Box of Socks 2018 thread. Can you believe that? I did it! I think this is the first cowl I've ever participated in that I've actually participated in. So I'm pretty impressed. Kristen had her ducks in a row and closed the thread on the 30th at midnight, this would be a very different story. But because as of 10 o'clock Eastern time on the 1st, it was still open, I stuffed that right in there. So I've officially entered the Box of Socks cowl. Done! Did it! Woo! And now you're going to see all of them in no particular order, as I don't remember what I knit first. I suppose I go back through these podcast episodes, but ain't nobody got time for that. So I'll show you all my socks in some kind of an order. And, did you guys watch her last episode? It's on! 2019 Box of Socks is on! Yeah, I have like a reason to live again. I have, a purpose in my life, and I can knit socks for something in particular. No, I never really needed an excuse anyways, but I'm excited she's doing it. It's a great knit along. It's so all-encompassing and just fun and loosey-goosey. She's going to make it even more loosey-goosey this next year, so I'm pretty excited. I'll be taking part in it again. We'll see if I'll get those 12 pairs since I'm going to be knitting all of the Skeindeer And honestly, all the sweaters. I did kind of some math. I've got like 5 sweater quantities. So I should knit some sweaters. You can't hoard it all. I put a bit on my sweater last night. I didn't bring it over here. I'll show you when it actually, like maybe when I finish the body or some giant milestone. But I love knitting on sweaters. It's probably my new favorite thing. Don't tell the socks. But I'm hoping to do quite a few sweaters this year, as well as socks. You'll get more knitting time, right? 2019's just beginning. We can have hopes and dreams and unrealistic goals. That's how every January starts. So yeah, I'm going to show you all the socks, except for one. Because on January 1st, after I took my picture and put it on Ravelry, I realized I had not done laundry and really needed a pair of wool socks because it is absolutely frigid here in Maine. We actually got a huge snowstorm yesterday, so I need a pair of wool socks. So I stole one. It was after the 1st. So I took one out. It's a pink and blue yaw wool, kind of just generic vanilla sock with a heel flap and gusset. So if you're like, what happened to the pink and blue one? They're on my feet. And I took them out of my box of socks and they're in use right now. So, yeah, hope that works for you. So we'll go through that. I'll show you my works in progress and my box of socks, and then we'll chat for a little bit. So like I was saying, as far as works in progress go, I don't really have a whole lot. But I have one that's really, really long. So my Advent socks. They've been coming along nicely. I am on day 9 on these super long guys here. Holy cow. Look at this. It's like I'm making a blanket. This has a few increases. I've started increasing. I put an increase at the beginning of this row and in the middle of this row, and then I'll do an increase every time I add a new color. And that's how I'm going to manage to get these up and over my thighs. Because that's where they're going. Because if this is day 9 and there are, 13 more to go. No. 15 more to go. I have very long socks ahead of me. So I'm going to keep working on these as life continues and taking them with me until they get too big to be manageable. And, they're great vanilla knitting. I'm past the heel. I'm going to be just stockinetting around for a small eternity. There is no pattern. I'm just making it up as I go. So yeah, these are pretty fun. I'm pretty obsessed with this. And as far as the other one, you have to bear in mind there's less yarn with this one, and so this is also, I believe, at day 9. But I have turned the heel on my second pair. And I did Fish Lips Kiss for both of them. This is my preferred heel for toe up. I can't stand making a gusset toe up, and everything else has not been fun. So Fish Lips Kiss is how I do toe ups now. But I tried the garter, and then I did just plain stockinette for this one. And I want to see which I like better. And as of right now, I like knitting the garter better. I found that my make one for the purl side was much easier than it was for the knit side. And this heel is so much cleaner than this heel. So I think that's going to be my heel of choice for toe up socks. Is going to be Fish Lips Kiss. It is going to be a garter Fish Lips Kiss. So those are those. Speaking of Advents, there was a gift in the Advent from England that was birthday, and then there was what was obviously a skein of yarn for Christmas. So on my birthday, I thought I'll open my birthday, which I think is a project bag, and then I'll open Christmas because it'll be my Christmas Eve cast on. And yeah, I did just that. I opened it up and it was a project bag. This officially is my favorite project bag in the entire world. Not only is it cuter than all Dickens, I mean, the little teapots, and now it's of course covered in white dog hair. It's a dark fabric. This is why we can't have dark things. So, they're teapots, and then the ribbon matches, and inside is like birthday cakes, because it was my birthday, It's just the perfect size. The square bottom has a little handle. This is the greatest bag ever. This is like the most perfect bag I own. The drawstring closes tight. I couldn't believe it. I screamed when I saw this. It is the most perfect bag. And the icing on the cake, not to be, cute, is the fact that she made this. Like, she sewed this. It is perfect. I'm sure she is a professional because this is on such a professional level. It is amazing. Like, kudos. You're quite the artiste. This is my favorite thing. This is one of my favorite birthday gifts, in fact. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love it. Inside of it, this is the other part here. All right. Is this not the most Christmas Eve cast on ever? This is West Yorkshire Spinners in some Christmas colorway. This is my first full West Yorkshire Spinner sock. The toe on my Advent sock was my first time ever, and then this happened. So I kind of went to town on it, nice long leg there, because if you're making socks that's going to make you look like an elf, they've got to be big and long, right? Elves don't wear shorty socks. No. And to keep the stripy pattern going, I decided to do Vanilla is the New Black heel. This is my 5th time doing it. And it was so easy. Oh, it was nice. I like it a lot. I was watching Love Actually with Betsy. We're hanging out at her house watching Love Actually. Heath, of course, wanted nothing to do with Hugh Grant and nothing to do with romantic comedy. And I wanted everything to do with Love Actually. So me and Betsy hung out and watched Love Actually. And I did this whole Vanilla is the New Black heel. And then look at the bottom. I love that it does, that on the bottom of it. The look of it, I couldn't be happier. I kind of knew what was going to happen. And that's why I picked the Vanilla is the New Black heel, but beyond ecstatic. Beyond! So festive! Yeah. So I've been cranking away on these, been having a blast. Loving the bag they're in, loving the yarn. My yarn shop had a sale on needles. They were like 40% off for some selected sizes. So I got a pair of Nova Platinas, that's Knitter's Pride brand, for like $2. And they're not bad either. So that's what I'm knitting them on and loving it. And this will be a half-finished object at least by the end of next episode. I'm certain of it. Just look. Closes up so tight. So perfect. The best bag ever. And yeah, that's the end of the knitting. That's all I've been working on except for, stockinette body island of that sweater. So I'm going to go through the box of socks. Hopefully through the magic of editing, I will be able to make it seamless and everything because I have 2 sock blockers and 13 pairs of socks to get through. So we're gonna start the parade. Hopefully I remember all the colorways. Hopefully I remember, I'm hooked over here, everything. Oh, geez. I tried to film this podcast yesterday. I did. I'm just going through this. I'm steamrolling through this podcast no matter what because I tried to record it so many times yesterday. And the cats, literally fell off the second story up here. There's a pony wall. One fell off, so I stopped and checked to make sure it was okay. Got back, sat down. The next one fell off. Went over, checked to see if it was okay. And then my phone rang for a telemarketer, the worst. The doorbell rang because it was the postman. The house phone rang. It was just I could not catch a break. So despite anything that happens in this episode, I am going through. I'm going to get this done. I have lots of skeinin to do. I just came back from a mill trip and have lots of skeinin to do. I did all my math today. I got 111 skeins. They're all going to need to be dyed and reskeined and labeled and brought down to Boston February 10th for the Farm and Fiber festival that I'm part of. So I'm getting through this. So that thing where I just hit myself in the head with these, it's going to stay in. Enjoy that. You can watch me being just a lunatic. All right, let's start with the very beginning here. Like I said, no particular order. I have absolutely no idea what order I did these in, so that's that. First up is going to be one of my most impressive socks. This is the Transcendent sock by the amazing and wonderful Skeindeer. It has a German short row heel, which the saga of last year was German short row heels and how I hate them. This one is pretty big, nice saggy heel. I'm happy with the fit of it. I'm just terribly unhappy with the construction. So this was one of the last German short row heels before they officially broke me and spun us into the Heal My Broken Hearts cowl, which was tons of fun. If you don't remember, it really was. So Transcendent sock. This is a great pattern with the colorwork detail and the all over colorwork sock. She's got a lot of great colorwork patterns for socks. She keeps saying we should be knitting colorwork socks. Hashtag Skeindeer All Year. You can make yourself a pair of these. They're awesome. And this pattern was so easy to memorize, and I don't know, I love this sock. So that was the first one. If you're keeping track, that's one. I'm putting them on sock blockers for you. Here is number 2. This is when I found out that Helen was discontinuing Yowl, so I bought a whole bunch. So there's a lot of Yowl this year. This is one that came with that reinforcement heel and toe thread, which I loved so much. I put it in a garter fish lips kiss heel with a heel flap adjustment from the Knitting Expat, and then I also did it in the toes as well. This was such a fun self-patterning sock yarn. I enjoyed it immensely. So there's that one. So that's 2. 3 is a pair of Maddfuzzy socks. And I have to admit, because of all my upcoming events, I spent all yesterday applying to events. Maddfuzzy is going everywhere this year. It's probably because I have to pay off that insurance I have to buy. Liability insurance, she ain't cheap. So if that means I am buying a policy for a year, I am going to go to every event that's possible out there. I will be applying to everything. Oh, and if you are in, let's say, New England down to like Maryland area, Eastern Seaboard, and you know of a fiber event in your area, please put it in the description down below. I would really like to know. I mean, I know, of course, the basic ones like New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, the Common Ground Fair. I'm probably going to attend Rhinebeck. I'm not going to get into Rhinebeck. I don't even think I can handle Rhinebeck as a yarn producer right now, but I'm definitely going to go. But then there's Vermont. There's a couple others. So if you know of any, please put it in the down bar. Maybe Maddfuzzy will be at your local fiber event, and you can come and say hi and give me a hug. I am a hugger. Believe it or not, I am a hugger. So let me know. Back to the box of socks review. Speaking of Maddfuzzy, I have this gorgeous vanilla sock. This is my Latin Beauty colorway. It was kind of a little bit different of a colorway than it normally is. There's usually, it looks a lot more like this up here with the pink and the green. This was a lighter version, so I stole it for myself, and it'll be a booth sample. It was a heel flap and gusset. I do that garter ridge on my heel that I stole from Hermione's Everyday Sock. This one has been blocked, so it's super soft. I mean, for my yarn. And yeah, so there's number 3. Get my hair off my microphone here in case that's making noises. I find these things out later in editing. And as I said, we ain't going back. No, I'm not recording this again. I have too much skeining to do. All right. So here's another one from the archives. This was when I was back in my Heal My Broken Hearts cowl. This is the speeder sock. And this was that really cool heel where we increased and then decreased. I'm intrigued to see how these fit. I really am. Because these are probably going to become boot samples. I did make another pair. But this is in my Up to Camp colorway. I did a sock set a little while ago that had this beautiful blue as the contrast color. So I did a couple stripes at the bottom. So Up to Camp. Oh, this one's from this is the beginning of the year one. I can remember that this was, man, this one feels like it was forever ago. This is the Perfect Pair, the Regia Perfect, in pink, of course. Garter stitch, or slip stitch, heel flap and gusset for this one. I have another ball of this somewhere. I think I might try it with a Fish Lips Kiss heel next time. Just switch it up. See what happens with the pattern. Here's another one from the beginning of the year. This was the Stern Teller socks by Becky Sorensen. So it's got that gorgeous moss or seed stitch panel on the front. I did mine with a heel flap and gusset, as it's my favorite still. I mean, I do like doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel. Just the fit of these, beyond all reason, the best. This is in String Theory, which is a local indie dyer to me, that my friends got me for Christmas last year. So this was really a beginning of the year one, and I knit for myself. So I got that one. Here's a fun one. This is another speeder sock, but this one is done in commercial sock yarn. And this, I believe, is an online, that's the brand of commercial sock yarn. It was so fun. I feel like it was like Key West sort of feeling. So that, again, with that really crazy heel, that's just an increase and decrease. And I just love the colors on this sock. All right, let's see here. How about another Maddfuzzy one for you? Just another vanilla sock. I wanted to see how my Romanian Friend colorway knit up. And I love it. So this is my Romanian Friend. This is just a vanilla sock with a slightly shorter cuff. This will probably be a boot sample as well. Heel flap and gusset. Let's see here. And I've got another Maddfuzzy one for you here. This was from the Knitting Expats. She did 2 sock clubs this year that were kind of alternating. I can't remember if this was from the Wonderlust or the Cozy collection. And I can also not remember what it was called. All of the ones in that collection were mind-blowing. I can't even pronounce half of them. So this was a mini skein set, or not a mini skein set, a sock set as well. It came with the preppy handbook and the contrasting toe, heel, and cuff yarn. This is also a German short row heel with the heel flap adjustment, and I hate it. This is still in the middle of Gappy Heel Central and Marta hating German short row heels. But I love the way this sock looks. Let's see, let's grab its mate here and we can show you what the pattern on the front kind of looks like. So the pattern on the front is a very interesting, not really a cable, just sort of a garter, and so purling and knitting, alternating to create a very cool texture. That goes all the way down the front. It does not go on the back. Here's one you've seen more recently. This is my charade sock. I just completed these a little while ago. I know you can see the white dog everywhere. I live in a white dog world. She touches us all in her own special way. So this is the charade sock. This is in my Red Witch colorway. I did heel flap and gusset with this one. Super long cuff, 2x2 ribbing at the top. This is on my Pretty Tough base, so it has 20% Firestar nylon, so it's got a little sparkle to it. So there's that one. This is a sock that I am beyond grateful that I caught the update. I made the sock because, as you know, the amazing Jinx yarn has closed its doors. They are dying no more for very good reasons, but it's very sad. This is the graffiti colorway. I may never wear these socks just because I know I will never get yarn like this again. So another vanilla sock. Heel flap, garter stitch ridge, wedge toe is how I do my toes, 2x2 ribbing, and it's a self-striping sock yarn by Jinx Yarns. This was the graffiti colorway. I know, it's sad. Let's see, let me look else what else I have in here. I think this is my last pair for the year, minus the ones that are on my feet. I guess I've only done 3 vanillas, the new black heels. This is the one that started it all. This is my Shirsty Cat Fibers in the On Tropical colorway, which I adore this. Here is that vanilla is the new black heel in a variegated yarn. 2x2 rib at the top. I really don't like 1x1. Be honest with you. There is one in here that does have 1x1, and that is the Stern Teller socks. But I just don't like the way that my 1x1 looks. I feel like it's not all that stretchy. It doesn't hold its shape. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it here, it's not terrible. Of course, all the white dog hair. Here it's not terrible, but I just prefer the 2x2. I just do. It's my preference. Well, there they are, folks. All of the socks. How exciting. Box of socks. 2018 completed, entered. Yeah. I'm so freaking excited to wear these. It's like Christmas. You know, I used to ask for wool socks for Christmas every year because that's the one thing I needed and the one thing I never bought for myself. And now it's like somebody just I made them, obviously, but it's like a gift. Every January, I get brand new socks. That's awesome. I hope you enjoyed that as well. I have one more thing. Actually, I have 2 more things to share with you, and then we'll talk a little bit about my life in general and whatnot. So, I got for Christmas from my mother the Cat Sandwich Fibers advent calendar, and she did a 12-day. And in the entire insanity, let me pull my braids behind me. I'm getting a haircut for my show down in Boston. Cut a bit off. I think I'm also going to dye all the gray hairs hot pink. If you see me in Boston, I will be the pink booth. I've got huge plans for my booth involving vintage suitcases and LED lights and a lot of pink spray paint. I'll have to show you guys as I get going. But look for the pink. That'll be me. So I did the Cat Sandwich Fibers advent calendar, and I think I'm going to do a faded sweater or like, I believe it's Tana's Fiber Arts just came out with a sweater that has stripes that all come down into a V-neck of different colors. But this is going to be like wacky, zany, crazy, fingering weight sweater. So if you haven't opened your advent calendar yet and you don't know what you're getting from Cat Sandwich Fibers, it is too late and too bad. So here's the vintage ornament colorway. This is the big one that came with it. And I saw somebody else's the other day, and I think mine has a lot more of these like speckles on it. Not complaining. Not complaining one bit. Love it. So this would be the body and the sleeves. And then I have just 12 beautifully epic minis to kind of screw around with. You know, I could do like a find your fade and use what she uses for the fading of one into another. And just use the construction of it as well. But it's going to be zany. There's some bright colors. There's like greens and a purple. I love this pink. But yeah, there's some zany ones. So that's a plan for me. This is one of my 5 sweater quantities that I have plans for this year. But I kind of want to show you guys because I hadn't before and I hadn't on Vlogmas. And yeah, I opened all of those and had a blast. Speaking of Vlogmas, thank you so much for watching Vlogmas. Oh my goodness, that was quite the adventure. I don't think I'm meant to be a blogger. No, it was like every day home on the computer. I gotta go home. I gotta edit my vlog. And everyone looks at me like, you've got a vlog? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I gotta go home and edit it. So, last little nitty thing. I'm not gonna go through all my Christmas gifts. Eventually you'll see them throughout this podcast as I knit them into wonderful and magical things. But I did want to show you the Christmas gift that I got that I think is, it ended Christmas for me. As soon as I opened this, I was dead to the world. All I could do was look at this. It's a book. It's a book I've really wanted. It's a book that it's not going to be able to buy cheaply on Amazon because that's usually how I get most of my books. So I added it to my Christmas list. Oh yeah. It's the giant Norwegian Chart Central Magical Book of Mittens. Oh yeah, this is in Norwegian, which I'm going to learn at some point because I have become completely obsessed with their knitting culture. But it basically is just a stitch like Bible. And it gives you all these examples. And then it shows you all these charts. And I figure you have your mitten and you just kind of plug these in. And they kind of give you some basic ratios. If you wanted it wider, you'd make it wider and whatnot. But, whew, this is a nice book. It's a thick book. It's hardcover. This one of my favorite Christmas gifts as well. So you'll be seeing a lot out of that. I'm not going to say that I will be designing anything in the future because I have no right to say anything, but maybe after like 10, 15 years of knitting colorwork mittens, I'll be ready for this and I'll have it. And until then, I'll just open it and look at the pages and love it. I cannot believe it. It's my favorite thing ever. So that, friends, brings me to the end of my knitting content. So if you're just here for the fun and the shenanigans, thank you very much for stopping by. I'm going to chat a little bit about my life, not too much, and then I'm going to get this uploading and go back to skeinin yarn. So, yeah, Christmas was great. Christmas was fantastic around the Shire. We always go very low-key. Betsy, she cooked a very local chicken. We had a chicken. There's only 3 of us. Really, seriously. We don't need a huge meal. We're still eating it. She cooked a nice chicken. We just sort of hung out. We had some friends come over. We got Settlers of Catan for Christmas. So we have been playing that like nobody's business. And yeah, I went up to the mill last week and got a whole bunch of new stuff that I'm really excited about. So you'll be seeing that in the future here. I'm going to spend tomorrow and Sunday, today is Friday, dyeing. And then skeining and dyeing and skeining and skeining and dyeing. I'm probably going to head over to the wool shop and pack up some orders that came through in the last couple of days. So if you are thinking about ordering, get on there, order a couple of those bumps, help out those sheep. There's always going to be a need and a want until they're shearing in spring. Yeah, I'm going to a shearing, not next week, I think the week after, Thursday of next week maybe. Yeah, I guess it'd be Thursday of next week on the 10th new beat is shearing their flock, and so I am getting together what I'm hoping to be my first 100-pound milling. Up until this point, the largest milling I've ever done is 44 pounds. So 100 pounds is going to be huge for me. I'm really excited about getting that in. I'm scheduling a date with him, so I will know exactly when I'm getting it back. Just sort of making my life easier. I love my mill. He's the best. He really is. I went up there and it was a Sunday. He let me come on a Sunday. I arrived a little late because we just couldn't get going. And he hung out and chatted with me for about 45 minutes and then informs me that he has people waiting for him at camp and that he has to go. I was like, you should have chatted with me this whole time. And he assured me that he enjoys my company as much as I enjoy his. So I have the best mill ever, which is why I'm never going to tell you what my mill is now. I'm going to keep my mouth shut so that people don't take fiber to him, so that my lead times don't get any longer. I'm going to tell you I love my mill, but I'm never going to say what mill it is again because I can't have you all going to him. I listened to the Dandelion Dreams podcast the other day. If you haven't checked her out, check her out. I love that podcast. It makes me miss my home in Montana so much, though. Her husband, he's such a quintessential cowboy, and he came in and dropped off a sweater. I was like, oh my God, he is a Western cowboy. And I don't know. When I hear her podcast, I can imagine being out west again. But she was saying that she dropped off her fiber. She raises sheep, by the way. And she was not going to see her fiber for a year. Her mill is a year back. So I had this I could be in that same boat someday. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut about my mill. If anyone's like, what mill do you go to? I'll be like, Nunya? Because I have to keep my short mill times. He really cranked out this batch for me and is saving my butt on this whole fiber festival thing. So I cannot complain. He's really the best mill. He's so great. So I got that. Went up with my friend Brittany. Had a good day. We always go to the all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet afterwards. It's on the way. And usually by then we're just so hungry. I mean, I'll leave here at 9. I'll get to the mill at 1. And then I'll drive back. It's dinner time, and there's nothing in between for lunch. So we bring snacks. And, yeah. That's that. We need Chinese buffet. I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Not too much, really. It's that wonderful time of the year where we can actually sit inside by our wood stoves and knit. Christmas is done. New Year's is over. So now it's get down to work. Maddfuzzy time. Hopefully going to have regular updates, regular podcasts. I'm really excited about my new light. I still think this looks great. So the socks looked really good on my screen. So hopefully, I look pretty good. I'll know when I start editing this. And, everything you add to a podcast, you got to tweak it a little bit. It's never always going to be the same. As far as what we've been watching, I've been mostly watching... What have we been watching? We've been rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We get into ruts with TV. Nothing too new, though. Yeah, I think that's everything. It's been kind of a low-key week. I only worked a few days. I've just been working really hard on my business, and hopefully this next year it will become my full-time job. And as we start 2019, I want to again thank you all for your support. And without you, none of this would be possible. I would have no business. I would have no podcast. So thank you very, very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Yeah, if you want to, say hi down below, do. I'm going to get back to work. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and have enjoyed this podcast. Again, just a reminder, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment, and yeah, enjoy your knitting. See ya.